Thank you, Brian. Thank you, New Thought Messengers. Welcome, everyone. We are so glad you're here. I'm Allie McIntyre. My pronouns are she, her, and I have the privilege of welcoming you to this beautiful community we call New Thought Center for Spiritual Living. Whether you're joining us here in the sanctuary or from wherever you call home, thank you for choosing us to spend part of your day with us. One of the things I love most about this community is that we don't just talk about love, we practice it. We are an inclusive, progressive, compassionate spiritual community dedicated to doing our own inner work and then carrying that love out into our homes, our workplaces, and our communities, because that is how we help create a better world for everyone. Whether this is your first time or you've been here for years, know that you belong here. If you are new or new-ish, a special welcome to you. We welcome all people and all paths to the divine. If you'd like to learn more about who we are and what we do, please stop by our welcome table after service. It's right out the hall to the left. And if you're online, please go to newthoughtcsl.org. We'd love the opportunity to meet you. And if you have babes in arms, know that we have a lovely family room over to the left with rocking chairs, toys, and a window to the sanctuary so you won't miss a thing. Please make yourself comfortable and avail yourself of that space if you need it. And as we do every Sunday, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that we here in Lake Oswego gather on the ancestral lands of the Kalapuya people. We affirm indigenous history, experiences, and sovereignty. And through our monthly giving, we support organizations that promote Native American rights. And to our beloved online community, welcome. We're so grateful you're with us today. If you have a candle nearby, now is a wonderful time to have it ready as we prepare for our spiritual practice together. And now, if you're comfortable here in the sanctuary, if you could turn around and wave to our online community. We have people joining us live from all around the world. Did you know that? Along with many who will watch later in the week. And we're so grateful that technology allows us to gather as one community. Our online hosts today are practitioner student Erica McElroy and practitioner Lori Nazarino, who will be welcoming you and sharing helpful information throughout today's service in the chat. Thank you both for your loving presence. Now, with one voice, I invite you to join me in speaking our vision and mission. These words remind us who we are, why we're here, and the world we're helping to create together. Our vision. Recognizing our oneness, we envision a world that works for everyone and all creation. And our mission, providing spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Before we continue, I have the honor of thanking our incredible Rainbow Alliance. If anyone from the Rainbow Alliance that was here at Pride or not, please stand so we can recognize your brilliance. Round of applause, here we go. Wonderful, wonderful. Your vision, your leadership, and your countless volunteer hours made our Pride presence possible. From planning every detail to staffing the booth and walking in the parade, you embodied radical inclusion and reminded every person you met that they are loved, valued, and welcome exactly as they are. Thank you for all the details, all the love, and all the healing you brought to our community and beyond. We are so grateful to each of you. Today, this beautiful peace lily is shared in celebration of a birthday. Annette Nelson, who is president of the Board of Trustees here at New Thought Center. Can I get a round of applause for Annette? I know, Nettie, you're watching online. Happy birthday. Thank you for your leadership, your generous heart, and the many ways you serve this community. We are so grateful for you. We have a beautiful service ahead with Rev Shannon, along with music from Darcy Radley. Woo! The New Thought Messengers. I know we will be inspired, uplifted, and reminded once again that love truly changes lives. If you haven't already, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. That's for the folks here in the sanctuary and you folks at home. Let's make sure that we can be fully present for the rest of our time together. Thank you again for letting me welcome you. And now it's my honor to invite practitioner Bernalee Garland to come forward to share our opening blessing.
Hi, beloveds. Let's anchor our time into this sacred now. And I invite you to close your eyes or cast them in front. I know that there's one source flowing in everything and in all. There is a joy, a love, and a harmony right here through everything and everyone. How good it is to know that this Spirit is closer than the very breath of life that I breathe. How wonderful it is and how blessed we are to be in community, spiritual community, seeing the divine in each other, the light, and being the light for others. So blessed by the many hands and hearts whose light showed and shines to make this day possible for community, for spiritual community. I'm so grateful for this and grateful for the unfolding of Rev Shannon's talk, knowing that guidance and wisdom we will carry in towards the next week. Grace-filled awareness to embody. And I let all of this be with profound gratitude, and so it is. And now it's time for you at home to get your candle and join me as I light ours as we set music and prayer together. Stand as you are able.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love is all around me.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
And so it is.
Thank you, Ron. Hello. The following is by Jaya John from his book of poetry called Fragrance After Rain. May your wondrous heart and spirit imitate sky today. Wide open, unencumbered, and light as air. May the womb of life wrap its sacred self around you. A ceremonial blank of care and assurance. May you be birthed into the bright light of your purpose and your calling. May your giftedness spill out into the world, a treasure for all living things. May you suckle from the milk of truth, everlasting peace, and sing a song that speaks your splendid soul. And so it is. Blessed be. Amen.
Thank you, Laura. Now it is my great pleasure to bring to the platform Darcy Bradley. Give her a warm welcome.
Well, even though I walk through the valley sometimes, it feels like I crawl through the valley, but I got a promise that I hold on tight to. I can't lose when I'm right beside you. Gotta know your plans you have for me when my cup is overflowing. So while I'm in my in-between, I'ma live my life knowing if I get down, you pick me up from the ground. You give me love that don't give out, giving no condition. You lift me up and up again now. No matter who surrounds, I let my hallelujah get loud like a freight train, sunshine or rain. I lift you up and up again. Well, ask me how I know you're gonna do it. Everything and blessings coming to me. The shadows try to make me turn away. Forget it. 'Cause even on my worst day, if I get down, you pick me up from the ground. You give me love that don't give out, giving no condition. You lift me up and up again now. No matter who surrounds, I let my hallelujah get loud like a freight train, sunshine or rain. I lift you up and up again. Up and up again. Well, I'll lift you up. Gotta know the plans you have for me. So while I'm in the in-between, I'ma live a life knowing if I get down, you pick me up from the ground. You give me love that don't give out, giving no conditions. You lift me up and up again now. No matter who surrounds, I let my hallelujah get loud like a freight train, sunshine or rain. I lift you up and up again. Hey, up and up again. Oh, well, I lift you up again. Ask me how I know you're gonna do it. Well, every time a blessing's coming to me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I lift you up and up again. Woo!
Oh, Darcy Bradley is back in the house. Thank you so much, Darcy. And how wonderful to have Kate back with us. We've missed you, sweetheart. And the New Thought Messengers. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Thank you so, so much. I want to also take a moment and thank Reverend Shelley for her incredible talk. Last week, oh my goodness, if you haven't seen it, please do check it out. Please do. So for those of you who may not know, my name is Shannon O'Hurley, and my pronouns are she, her. And this is absolutely the day that love has made for each one of us exactly as we woke up this morning. How good it is to be here together. So last Sunday, as Ali mentioned earlier, our New Thought Center for Spiritual Living was represented at the Pride Parade. We were in the Pride Parade. Thank you again for the Rainbow Alliance. Oh my goodness, such an amazing job they all did. You know, one of the things that is always just the most heartening, most meaningful for me in that whole experience of the parade is when I'm looking out at the folks and I see them reading our signs. And in real time, I see that they realize we are a spiritual community, and then they realize that we are inclusive and progressive and compassionate because our signs say all the things that we stand for. And then the most beautiful thing happens, and I see it, I get to see it. They look at it, they realize who we are, and there's this moment where it lands. And usually they either jump up and down or put their hands on their hearts, and oftentimes it's young folks, and they either mouth, "Thank you," or they yell, "Thank you," and they blow kisses of gratitude, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. It just warms my entire heart. At one point, from my vantage point, I was watching our beautiful team march, and I noticed one of the signs that was dancing its way down the parade route. Glenn, you've got some great moves, buddy. The sign that he happened to be carrying said, "Spirituality is not religion." Spirituality is not religion. And I watched people read that sign, and I watched their reactions, and it stayed with me. So much so that knowing that we would have some new folks checking us out here or online, I thought I would just continue that theme today. So my talk today is called Spiritual, Not Religious, Living Your Truth. Now, I identify as someone who is spiritual, not religious, and let me be very, very clear. I say this as a person who has studied the world's religions for the better part of 3 decades. I love it that much as a spiritual person. I even went to grad school for a whole other program so that I could really learn even more about the world's religions and interreligious dialogue. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to religion. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. So when I say that I am spiritual, not religious, I am not in any way knocking or belittling those who are religious. Religion, as long as it hurts no one, hear that, is beautiful for many, many people. For them, it's an anchor, it's a compass, it's a guide for how to live a compassionate, loving life. And that is a wonderful thing, again, if it hurts or harms no one. So it is not religion itself that I take any issue with. However, it is religiosity that I take issue with. Because religiosity most often comes with unchecked power, corruption, exploitation, abuse, hypocrisy, and a twisting of theology that brings a shame-based teaching that says that only certain people are worthy of God's love. And nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing. Nothing. I've studied it, I promise you, nothing could be further from the truth, because the flip side of that is just as important. I can't have a conversation today about being spiritual but not religious without also acknowledging the beautiful, progressive religious communities that do not engage in religiosity, that are doing very important work in the world. There are so many progressive Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh, and other communities that I stand shoulder to shoulder with in interfaith circles, and that are doing incredible social justice work just like we do here. Food pantries, coat drives. These are healthy religious communities. Yes, I promise you, they exist. They do in large numbers. And they are dedicated to protecting the vulnerable just like we are. So I want to take a moment right off the bat and acknowledge this, because it's very easy, especially in the world that we live in today, to put all religious people into the same category. But that is just not fair, because it's simply not accurate. So, I invite you to get gently curious and just notice if you carry any judgment around people who are or identify very much as religious. Again, I'm not talking about those who engage in harmful religiosity. The appropriate response to that is righteous anger and holding those that harm others accountable, but that is a whole other talk. For the purposes of this conversation, I invite you to just gently notice, it's not complicated, just gently notice if you happen to have any judgment or perhaps resistance around people who consider themselves to be, say, religious, but not spiritual. Just gently notice. We can make this light. We can make this loving. Notice if you have any judgment around people who are religious or live a religious life that looks very different from your own experience of the divine. Just take an easy breath. You can do it with your eyes open. And on the exhale, just allow any judgment you might have to go, to leave, to be cleared. It is serving no purpose, especially in this conversation. And then on your next breath, I invite you to send some loving, compassionate energy to the religious folks of the world, and perhaps to yourself. Thank you. I appreciate so very much us clearing that, because I think approaching this conversation from a non-judgmental place is really the only way to have this conversation. So, I want to offer, and I know for some of you this is going to be a refresher, the following. The three main Abrahamic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, are monotheistic. Mono meaning one, God meaning theos. Monotheistic means one God. Now, most folks, especially those from more traditional or orthodox religious communities, tend to believe in an anthropomorphized or human-like male God who primarily, not always, but primarily exists outside of themselves. This God is also capable, in their minds and in their understanding, of being both loving and compassionate, as well as angry and judgmental. Hence their belief in heaven and hell. I think it's really important to understand that for followers of these religions, and again, this conversation is talking about communities where no harm is being done, right? The progressive communities. This belief system really works well for these good people. It brings them a sense of order and comfort, and it helps to make their lives better. Now, for those of us here and in other progressive New Thought communities, we simply have a different understanding, a totally different, really, paradigm of God or the divine. Rather than being monotheistic, we in New Thought are panentheistic. Pan means all, en means in, again, theos means God. So panentheistic, our tradition, means all in God. as opposed to one God. We believe all in God. It's the understanding that Spirit, Source, God, we are not fussy, you get to choose whatever word you prefer, lives in the center of our being, and also in the center of every living thing, in the center of every form of creation, in all of Mother Nature. God or Spirit or Source is in every sentient being, everywhere, present in the air we breathe and in the mystery and the things that we don't understand. God, Spirit, love is in that too. We are all one in God, one in Spirit. So as people here on a spiritual path, we do not believe that God or Spirit or Source ever goes anywhere. God cannot ever be angry. The God that we believe in is incapable of that, incapable of punishment, incapable of leaving us. Because here's the thing. If you don't believe in an angry or judgmental God, and instead you believe in a loving, energetic force that is everywhere present supporting you, if you turn to it, it's your choice, then the whole idea of, say, a place called hell or purgatory as a place of punishment goes out the window. That logic doesn't hold. Do you see? Now, in New Thought, we absolutely understand that this is a free will universe. A free will universe. So we most definitely can, as you've heard me say before, create a hell of our own making, create hell on earth with the choices that we make, and we also have to navigate the choices that others make. Dun, 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 dun. That is the hard part. Oh, and that's just part of living here in this earth school. The important thing, and this is where the soul growth comes in for each of us, is that we are always at choice for how we live our lives and how we respond or react to others and their choices. Let me give you an example. About 2 weeks ago, when I was outside of the ICE detention center, a place one could argue is a man-made hell on earth, I was so heartened and delighted to see this beautiful soul cross the street and say hello to me, this person I haven't seen in such a long time, who I love so very much. And she let me know that she is part of a group of people who show up there every Thursday afternoon in solidarity. And do you know what they do? There are people who sing, yes. Do you know what this woman does with her group of friends? They sit in front of the ICE detention center in lawn chairs and they knit. They knit. What an extraordinarily spiritual response. Life is going to be life. And some people here in Earth School, unfortunately, are going to create pain. I wish I could tell you otherwise. Hold to the knowing that every path and karma is their own, and so is ours. In New Thought, we teach accountability for our actions. There is no devil we can blame. It's only our choices. What matters is how we choose to show up and how we choose to respond. And the way we respond is what heals and what creates change. I am so clear that the divine shows up through those knitters sitting on those lawn chairs every Thursday afternoon in front of that horrific place. Now, there's an oldie but goodie that is widely attributed to Pierre Teilhard de Chardin that goes, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when we embrace that idea, it brings God down from the sky and smack dab right into the center of our chest, of our being, of our entire self. When we embrace the idea that our work here as spiritual beings having this human experience is actually the remembering of who we truly are and living from that knowing that everyone comes from unconditional love. Everyone is of spirit. Everyone is spirit in shoes, even when they have forgotten it. And as I look out into the landscape, I see so many people who have forgotten their divinity, who have forgotten their soul, who have forgotten the truth of who they are. But here is the thing, when we hold to this knowing, when we remember the spiritual truth, that makes room for empowerment within us and radical compassion and the true and lasting transformation of outdated oppressive systems that cause harm. Because if you think about it, if you truly believe that you are of the divine, you are of God, of spirit, not separate from it, but you are directly of it. It lives and breathes in the center of your being, and everywhere present you understand your own inherent worth. I cannot begin to tell you the healing I had in my own being when I finally understood my own inherent worth. As we do this work and we realize that as spiritual beings, we are whole and holy and worthy, we then are able to deeply, deeply understand the inherent worth of every single human being. This is a game changer. And this spiritual understanding is what I believe will change our world, one being at a time. So, how do we put this into practice? Sounds good, I hope. But how do we do it? How do we do this? Well, let's start here. I invite you to get into the habit of noticing when you have separated yourself from source or love. When do we separate ourselves from source or love? When we have moved into our ego, into our judgments, into our need to dig in our heels and be right, which, by the way, is such a socialized, lived experience, especially for those of us here in the West. Sadly, it's often encouraged in our society and in the media. You have to be right. You have to prove yourself. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. All that does when we forget our connection to divinity and we let our ego lead, all that does is separate us from our good with a capital G. In my experience, when we get curious, when we listen, when we lean in a non-judgmental way, that is when the dial really moves. Certainly in social justice movements, it does. It's the whole point of nonviolent communication. So, the antidote to this habit that so many of us have of moving unconsciously into our ego, the antidote to this is to just in the moment, if you can, and I recognize this takes a moment of clarity, but you're all spiritual, you can do this. when you realize you've moved into the place of ego, no one will know what you're doing. If you can just place your hand on your heart, take a breath, and realize in that moment you have temporarily forgotten your divine birthright. Because that's what's happened there in that moment. When you have decided you are not going to forgive, when you have decided that you have all the answers, you have forgotten your divine birthright. We all do it. We all do this. In those moments, you've simply forgotten your divinity. By the way, our ego loves a God out there. So do authoritarian regimes and empire, because it keeps us disconnected from our own inner wisdom and empowerment. In those moments when we have allowed our ego to take over, it's like this weird amnesia. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like you've left the building. You've gone to somewhere that really isn't that pretty or friendly or kind. It's human. It's human. But in those moments, we have forgotten who we truly are and whose we truly are. We've just up and left spirit. We have just up and left God. We have just up and left the divine. But please remember, in those moments of forgetting, God or spirit hasn't gone anywhere. We have just forgotten that we are spiritual beings having this human experience. That's all. And just like we did a few moments ago, keeping it easy, taking a breath, releasing judgment, we get to take a breath and release the judgment of ourselves in that moment. And it's on the breath we return to center. We return to our divine providence that lives at the center of our being, the reason we incarnated here. The reason we incarnated here. This understanding of the indwelling presence, this spirituality, and deciding that we stay in connection to it is nothing new. This is ancient wisdom. All of the great mystics talked about it. Hildegard von Bingen, the 12th century visionary, refused to let the church tell her how to understand the universe. She wrote, 12th century, "We cannot live in a world interpreted for us by others." She believed that no priest was required and no permission was needed. Mechthild of Magdeburg, the 13th century mystic, refused to write in the church's exclusive Latin. She wrote in the language of the ordinary people because she believed that the truth she had discovered at the center of her being belonged to ordinary people. She wrote, "I saw all things in God and God in all things." How very panentheistic of you, Mechthild. Julian of Norwich, the 14th century mystic who lived through the Black Death, through a harrowing time when the church preached a particularly wrathful and punishing God, her response to that era that she lived in, she went inward. And what she found there, as we all do, was not judgment. She wrote, 14th century, God is nearer to us than our own soul. Three mystics across 3 different centuries with the very same discovery that the sacred, the divine, is within us and within all beings. And this is equally true across many faith traditions, especially in the East, from Sufism, the mystical aspect of Islam. Rumi, the 13th century Sufi mystic, wrote, "I looked in temples, churches, and mosques, but I found the divine within my heart." I looked in temples, churches, and mosques, but I found the divine within my heart. My love, the mystics were straight up spiritual, not religious. Now, a man by the name of Alan Watts studied Christian theology. There he is. That picture is close to when he made his transition. He studied Christian theology at Seabury Western Theological Seminary, and in 1945, he was ordained as an Episcopal priest. He served as a chaplain at Northwestern University, and every week he stood in the pulpit and preached about an out there God. Above him, separate from him, he quoted scripture that included words like sin and hell and punishment. But that whole time, Alan Watts was also reading everything he could get his hands on about Zen Buddhism, Taoism, and the philosophy of Hinduism. He was trying to find a way that he could hold both of those worlds together. He even wrote his entire master's thesis attempting to blend the two. But in the era that he lived in, he could not make that hold or stay. The direct experience of oneness that he kept finding in the Eastern philosophies didn't line up with the God he was preaching about on Sundays. And so in 1950, he made a huge decision. He made the decision to leave the priesthood entirely, walking away from his training, his position, and the world that he and his family had built around it. And then his whole life opened up. Choosing the spiritual path that spoke to his heart led Alan Watts to become one of the most influential people to introduce Zen Buddhism, Taoism, and Hinduism to the Western world. He wrote over 25 books. He traveled to Japan several times to deepen his study. In 1958, after meeting the psychologist Carl Jung in Europe, Watts came back to this country with an idea that helped shape his own spiritual thinking, the idea that true wholeness doesn't come from rejecting the parts of ourselves that we don't like, but from being able to hold both light and shadow without being at war with either one, something we teach here. It's a very Buddhist understanding that he taught the world in spiritual circles. His radio broadcasts out of Berkeley reached millions of people who had never, ever once considered that the divine might be found through direct experience rather than doctrine. People still listen to his recorded lectures today, more than 50 years after his death. Perhaps, like you, finding your way to this spiritual community, just as Alan Watts found his way into spirituality. Perhaps you may have come from a different tradition. Perhaps you grew up in a different tradition, maybe a religious one. Or maybe you found yourself just wanting to explore another way of living or experiencing the divine or seeing the world. Maybe you have been deepening into this healing idea of oneness and spirituality for months or years or decades. Whatever circuitous route that got you to this moment, to this place, whatever that journey was for you, I know for me, it was reading one line in a book written by a medium by the name of James Van Praagh, who I later got to meet and thank. We all have our stories of how we found spirituality, how we found this place. Whatever that journey was for you, let's take a moment and just acknowledge the blessing in it, the gift in this, that in this big, huge world with so many possible paths, we together, us kindred spirits, found this spirituality. We found each other to share it with and to learn from. We found a safe place to heal any religious wounds that we may be carrying. I know I did. We found this place, this teaching, this understanding that is so antithetical to the way so many of us were raised. This idea that God is truly only love. That this whole universe has our back. What? The first time I heard that in a service, I wept. What do you mean the whole universe has my back? What do you mean I'm actually safe here? That there's a loving divine presence that fills me and heals me and is available to me if I turn to it. What do you mean? It was revolutionary. What a gift, what a blessing. We get to move forward together, standing in love, our theme for this month, and the subtitle of my talk, Living in Our Truth, recognizing that we are of spirit, we are holy, that everything about us is worthy, and that the God of our understanding is never, ever some faraway idea or some moody dude, but rather that love lives at the center of our core, and that loving kindness that we see in others is the divine, is spirit right here on earth. We are the hands and feet, my loves. We are the hands and feet of this love. So, this week, I invite you to gently notice if you're carrying any judgment around people who are religious. And if you are, I invite you to just release it on the breath. And in its place, send healing light and love. This alone will bring more peace to this planet, I promise. 2, notice where you forget and create separateness from the divine by leading with your ego rather than your heart. As the ancient mystics taught, spirit never goes anywhere we do. Just notice that and bring yourself back to center. And finally, I invite you to allow yourself to move more deeply into your own spirituality in whatever way that looks for you. Meditation, prayer, being of service. We work very hard in our programming here at NTCSL to provide you with ways that you can deepen into your spirituality, your spiritual path. We've got classes coming up this fall and retreats. We're now doing a monthly sound bath. Thank you, Casey, Christy, for leading that. All kinds of things, spiritual growth circles. You get to choose what works for you and how you express your spirituality. What a gift. And what a blessing. To be spiritual, not religious, is to live from the place of the indwelling spirit and to recognize this spirit at the center of everyone, especially when they have forgotten it. Let's pray. I'm going to invite the practitioners to please come forward and help me anchor this time in prayer, and our practitioners online, I'm going to invite you to turn within as well. Let's all take a deep, easy, nourishing breath. What a gift and a blessing it is to stand in love, to live this life as our spirituality, that we are one, that we are all interconnected and never separate, ever. What a gift and a blessing it is to be in this community that is knitted by love. In this moment, I say a special blessing and prayer on behalf of each of us for our loved ones, our family, our friends who are family. Recognizing and affirming this very same love is right where they are, at the center of their being, rippling out and blessing their world too. And I say a prayer for all places and people in our world right now that are having a hard time remembering their divine birthright, that they are love incarnate. I say a special prayer for their remembering. and any places in the world that are experiencing violence, racism, war, challenge, pain. Oh, I just affirm this same love is right where they are because there is no separation. We are all connected, and each one of us can send love on the breath in any moment. And so I affirm with all that I am that this week, each one of us remembers the truth of our being, the truth of who we are and whose we are and where we come from. Pure love, pure spirit, pure divinity. And so from this place of anchored awareness in our oneness, and in spirit, I give such thanks for this and for so much more. I let it be and I let it become, and so it is. Blessed, blessed be. Blessed be. Thank you. So, thank you. Thank you. So this is the time where we get to pay it forward, where we give our gifts. I want you to know that we exist only because of what you give. I thank those of you who pledge, those of you who send in your checks, however you give, thank you so very much. If you're new to this, please know that we give a portion of everything that we receive to organizations that are living our values out in the world. So when you give, you're not only giving here, but you're giving to these incredible, incredible organizations that are doing such good work. And there are many ways to give. You can text to give. The number is 503-966-3236. You can scan the code. Those of you online, I invite you into this practice. Thank you so much for making all of this possible. So let us say our blessing as we do each week. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you.
Now let's welcome back Darcy Bradley. Darkly.
Please stand and join us as you're able. Well, I heard a man talking about a place where it's all right to be yourself, where the light shines a little bit brighter, and there's always plenty of wisdom in the well. Well, that's where I wanna live, and that's where I wanna live. Well, the path is gonna seem a little clearer, not so many stumbling stones in the way. Who you seeing when you're looking in the mirror, you're gonna like a little better every day. That's where I wanna live.
That's where I want to spend my time.
Well, that's where I wanna live. Hey, well, all you really need to get there is faith and a strong desire. Well, even if you're down at the bottom, you just reach out your hand, let love be the plan to pull you out the muck and the mire. Yeah! So I'm packing up all my old baggage. I'm going down to the riverside. I'm gonna throw it all into the water and then jump
you, Darcy, Brian, and New Thought Messengers. I have some announcements. Be sure you're receiving our weekly email filled with inspiration, upcoming events, and ways to stay connected with our community. If you signed up to receive it but aren't yet receiving it, email communications@newthoughtcsl.org, and we'll be happy to add you to the list or help you troubleshoot. Join us Wednesday, August 5th for our next evening of deep rest and meditation through sound bath. Please wear comfortable clothing or pajamas and bring a thick yoga mat if you have one, or double up for extra cushioning. If getting down to the floor is difficult, a limited number of Adirondack-style chairs will be available thanks to the generosity of our community, or you're welcome to bring your own lounge or zero-gravity chair. Please arrive by 6:15 p.m. Doors will lock promptly at 6:30 so that we can begin the meditation on time without interruption. And our second annual Petite Retreat is Saturday, August 22nd. Spend a nourishing full day of spiritual practice, reflection, meaningful conversation, and community from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. right here at NCCSL. Lunch is included. Registration is $125 and is now open on our website or by scanning the QR code. And finally, if you're local and love helping people feel seen and welcome and at home, we'd like to have you on our welcome team. Contact info@newthoughtcsl.org to learn more. And visit newthoughtcsl.org to learn more about these events and everything happening at the center. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jenny. And I want to thank all of you who made the decision to be in spiritual community this day. Those of you who chose to be here in person, those of you who are watching online. We have folks right now in real time. We know that there are many who join us later in the week, but right now we have folks watching from California, Arizona, Colorado, Nebraska, Oregon, Idaho, Wisconsin, and Germany. We love you. Thank you so much for being here with us, helping to co-create this experience. I want to also once again thank Erica McElroy and practitioner Lori Nazarino for being our online host today. As a reminder, those of you who may have some questions after what I shared. Who knows? And if you do, if you want to learn more about us, the welcome table, once again, is right outside here in our lobby. And our welcome team today, we have Billy Keith and Allie McIntyre, and they can answer any questions you may have, or you can go online if you're visiting us from online, and you can check out all of the things there that we have. I'm now going to invite the practitioners to come on down forward. They're available for prayer after service. The sanctuary turns into a place of meditation and prayer, and if there's anything on your heart, you can always come up and just let them know what's going on, and they will take it from there. So I'd love to have our practitioners and practitioner students who were here supporting the service, and also Darcy and Kate, you come on up. Oh, the many hands that make all of this possible. I invite you to please rise as you are able, and if you have kiddos in the youth and family, please do pick them up before you go downstairs, and please do go downstairs. We have all kinds of lovely nosh and visiting, and our gift shop is there. It's wonderful. So, thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing this with all of us. May you go in the light, as the light, and with the light until we meet again. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. You are so loved. Mwah. Have a good week.
I release and I let go.